how do I deal with it?
How do you constantly not worry about something?
So what do we call this?
So why are we born?
Is it an issue? मोरया मोरया मी बाळ ताने तुझीच सेवा करू काय जाणे अन्याय माझे कोट्यान कोटी मोरे श्रभा तुघाल पोटी जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. I would not have known this but from my grandmother. So how influential are the grandparents?
How influential is Gangotri for Ganga?
Ugam.
Ugam Sthan. No, the source is always important. The root is always important for the tree. And unfortunately nowadays we don't pay enough attention to the root. So your grandparents, great-grandparents, the whole lineage is the root of your tree.
And how important are the parents in influencing the grandparents interacting with the grandchild?
That is a complex situation, simply because different parents have different approaches. Some parents are happy that their children are interacting with the grandparents because there is somebody from the family caring for the children. There is somebody from the family looking after the development of the child. There is another school of thought, there is another set of parents who don't want old traditional thoughts to be cultivated in their children. So they wouldn't want their parents to interact with their children. Now your next logical question would be, what is right and what is wrong? Basically there is no right and there is no wrong. Life is a continuum. Now if you disconnect, let's say, the parents and the older generation, then you start afresh. You start from a starting point which can take you to different directions. I'm not using the word deliberately mislead you. I'm just saying taking you in different directions.
So can the parents play an important role in getting this grandparent and the grandchild together and
Yes.
Influencing the thoughts of the earlier generation to the next generation?
See, the parents are the centerpiece between two generations. If that centerpiece doesn't play its role, then this generation is dislocated and this generation is set free.
What do the parents tend to lose, uniting the two generations?
Oh, so many things. You must have noticed that grandparents and grandchildren get along very well.
Yeah.
Parents and children don't get along so well. There is always some rift, some antagonism between two immediate generations. The same is true with the parents and their parents. Yeah? Somehow grandparents have come to a stage where they probably realize that they made a mistake in bringing up their own children. So they want to compensate for that. Probably they felt they were too strict with their own children and they didn't give enough love and care which the child deserves. And probably that brings on a correction in the grandparent. And the approach towards the grandchildren is softer, more accommodating, more loving. And therefore the affinity between a grandchild and a grandparent is much high, which makes the grandchild more receptive to ideas, education that the grandparent imparts.
When the child grows up, their requirement changes, the grandparents still are further old, the grandparents' needs change. So in this situation, how does the grandchild reflect what he has received from the grandparents to them?
It's all a matter of education. And when we talk of education, we are simply talking of the formal subjects. These are fine skills of living and
Not academically taught.
Not academically taught. If you go back in history of India, not too long ago, say 40-50 years, joint family systems, these became normal routine picked up by a child subconsciously. It was not actively communicated. He saw his elders behaving in a particular manner with their elders And that became an education for the child, that this is the way I behave towards my elders. So there was a sense of subconscious education happening along with the formal school education or whatever education a parent is imparting at home actively. So there is a passive education going on which cultivates the child. Now, what we need to teach the child, either actively or subconsciously, that give and take is a law. So I must give physical substance, material substance, care, attention, mental substance, emotional substance back to the source. It's a balance. Life is a balance. There was a time when I was a receiver, now is my time to be a giver. So you balance out things. Ultimately, the whole universe works on balance.
Right.
Imbalance means there is trouble.
So basically we are takers and reluctant givers. So it's time for us to ponder upon this point and give back to the universe in the form of taking care and giving time to our grandparents and restore the balance.